Okay, so today I would like to show you a difference between groups and components in SketchUp. So if I go to SketchUp, so I prepared a very quick model for you. So the first type of objects you can create in SketchUp is just ungrouped objects, and you can see all the elements of this cube are editable. So it's usually a bad practice to use this type of objects in SketchUp. So you need to group them or make components from them. And the reason why is because if you have another object and you want to put this object on top of your cube, they now welded together, so you can't go back and select this object and move it into different places, because now all this is now one entity. That's why we're creating groups or components to separate different objects between each other. So if you go to groups now, you have a grouped object. So it's one independent entity, and you can copy it and you can move it around and put it on top of each other, and you can select them and move independently, which is much easier with groups than with ungrouped objects. But the problem with groups though is if you say, for example, you want to change the first cube and you're changing the height, it will change the height only in the first cube, but it won't update all other cubes. So you need to go through every group and change its height independently. And you can imagine how much work it might involve if you have like thousands of these cubes. That's why we want to use components almost in every model. It's better to use components because if you select your component now and copy it as many times as you want, and you go back to initial component, you can adjust its height and it will reflect these changes in every instance of the first component. There are instances where you want to change, say, all components but keep only this cube and this cube to be something different, like a different type of component. It's easy done. Just right click and make a component unique. So in this case, if you make changes to this component, it won't affect these two guys. So you can select so now you see the use of components is very helpful, and you can manage bigger models, and it's just much easier. So I did a quick model just to show you how it works in practice. So for example, I have a master plan or a city model, and all these towers are the same component but scaled down. And say you have not only 5 towers, but you have a much bigger city. And client come back to you saying he wants a nice atrium space in every tower. and it could take you a while to make an opening in every slab, in every tower, if it's a group or if it's individual like component or individual ungrouped element. So that's why components are very helpful. You can just go inside your tower, and it has, you can, the cool thing about components and group, you can put them inside each other. So this component, if you go to entity info, called tower, and inside the tower have a glass component, and if I hide the glass component, I have slabs components inside it as well. So you can create a nested component, which is very helpful. So if you go back to atrium space, it's very easy. You now can just create your nice opening in every slab. And it's done. And now you made a change only in one component, and you can see this change was applied to every tower in the city. So you just spent like a minute making an atrium in one tower, and it's applied to every building. But say for example you want make a change only in this tower and this tower. So there will be like a nice entertainment pavilion with a huge open space in the middle. So you can make this component unique and go to your slabs. The slabs. And now you can cut the slabs with this form. It will take a second. Now you have all these cut lines that you can select. No. And you can make, because slabs are nested components, you see by selecting, if you go inside the slab component, it will show you all other components as well. So don't forget to make slabs in your towers, unique components as well. And if you go inside and you put your cut lines and you cut the slabs the same way we did with atrium space. And it's almost done. So now we have created two unique components, two unique towers in a city with a nice big open space in the front. And there is basically no limit how you can use components. You can start adding an extra elements inside nested components. For example, you can add trees on the top floor. You can add some furniture and it will add these elements in every tower. So you just work on one element in a SketchUp and it will update all other elements at the same time, which is very helpful, and it helps create much bigger model in a less time. So I think this tutorial was helpful for you, and see you next time.